Potomac and Chesapeake Association for College Admissions Counseling Virtual College Fair. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping announcements. The first, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our amazing presenters at any point throughout the session today. Second, your camera and microphone are off, so we are unable to hear or see you. Third, this is just one of many different sessions we're offering. And finally, this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week or so. With all of that said, I want to go ahead and introduce our first presenter from Washington College.
Hi, my name is Ashley Davis, and I'm an admissions counselor at Washington College. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. So Washington College is located in Chestertown, Maryland. We are nestled right along the Eastern Shore. So we are more on the rural side, but we are in great proximity to the major cities such as Washington, D.C., Philly, Baltimore, or New York. So we're in really great distance for either a car trip or bus trip to those cities. But right in Chestertown, Maryland, we have just over 100 acres of main campus, and we are right along the water. We have a waterfront campus with almost 5,000 acres for our river and field campus. We are a small liberal arts school, so our total undergraduate enrollment is just under 1,300, and our students come from 26 countries, 5% are international students, and 21% are students of color. Our students like to be heavily involved on campus as well as within the community. We have over 80 different clubs and organizations on campus that are all student run. And we do have a smaller class size with a 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio, as well as a 13 average class size. The majority of our students will conduct at least one internship during their time at Washington College, and almost 100% of the students from the class of 2019 were either employed or continuing their education 9 months after graduation. At Washington College, we have over 40 majors, minors, and concentrations, as well as areas of emphasis. So some of our most popular majors are English, Environmental Science and Studies. Our location is perfect for this environmental major. And some others include psychology, business, and political science as some of our top majors. But like I said, our students like to be heavily involved on campus as well as within the community. So you'll find that it is quite common for our students to either double major or have a minor as well. At Washington College, we have 5 pillars that create the foundation for our education system. So these are based on meaningful connections so that you and your professor have a relationship as well as your peers. And your peers are your support system. It's a very motivating environment. And you know your professor and your professor knows you. So they are constantly reaching out to you for opportunities that they see fit for you for career, internship, classes, anything like that. They're your #1 go-to. Learning Without Limits, our Career Development Center is a lifelong service. So even years after graduation, you are still able to reach out to them and receive help on your resume, do a mock interview for applying for jobs, anything like that. They are always available for service to help you. And the written word, we are a pretty writing intensive school. So every student will complete a senior capstone experience, and this has a pretty heavy writing component to it. We are also home to the largest undergrad writing award in the nation. So this was actually just awarded a few nights ago. It's always the night before graduation, and it's awarded to the senior who has the most promising future in writing, and it's valued over $60,000. So it's a pretty good graduation gift. And then environmental action and history informing the future. Because of our history with George Washington and our environment, these are also very important to us as well. These are some pictures of student life. So you'll see on the top left-hand corner, we have a picture of our annual crab feast. We actually have a couple of these throughout the year since we are in Maryland. And then we also have some pictures of the top right is the student club fair. So this happens every fall where you get to see all of the 80 different clubs and organizations right in action. You can sign up for them there. That bottom middle picture is our cardboard boat race that happens every fall. And then right above that is a picture of our dining hall. So we have options for vegan, vegetarian, anything like that, any dietary restrictions. We are very mindful of that. And then the two pictures on the bottom on the sides are some pictures of some different culture events that we'll have on campus as well. These are some more pictures of student life. So because of our location, it is pretty common to have a lab right on the water every now and then. So you'll see that's what those students are doing on that top left corner. On the bottom left corner is a picture at our Eastern Shore Food Lab, and this is all about growing food and cooking food sustainably. So they grow it all right there in their backyard, local honey, everything like that. So it's a really cool opportunity for our students. In the bottom right corner, we also have a picture of our Walk to Wall Street program. And then the top pictures are some opportunities that our students had with different internships. So we have one with a park ranger. We also have the GIS lab, which is located right in town. And in town is just about a 10-minute walk from campus. And then these are some more pictures of student life. You'll see the aerial shot of campus. You can get from the farthest two ends within 10 minutes. So hopefully that gives you a better sense of the size of the area. And then that top picture, you'll see the Chestertown fountain right behind it. It's a famous fountain in Chestertown. And we have different events that happen in town all throughout the season. So we have lots of different events for students to take part in. So hopefully we'll see you in Chestertown and Washington College soon. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Fitzgerald, and I'm representing Stevenson University this evening. I'll go ahead and share my screen and we can get started. I've been at Stevenson University about 15 years now, and I have the pleasure of working with students not only in the state of Maryland, but Pennsylvania and all around the area. So I'm happy to connect with you or connect you to your assigned admissions counselor with any questions that you have. Stevenson University is located in Owings Mills, Maryland, Baltimore County, a lively suburb of Baltimore. You can see the star there represents our campus location as you zoom into the map. And we're only about, like I said, about 25 to 30 minutes from the city. So quick access to the downtown area. Also not too far from Annapolis, Washington, D.C. And being that you're from the DMV area, I don't have to tell you too much about all the great resources that we have here. So we really try to take advantage of our great location. On the right side of the screen, you can see an aerial shot of our campus. The Manning Academic Center is a massive 200,000 square foot building that is home to the Fine School of the Sciences and the Berman School of Nursing and Health Professions, our School of Design to the north of the campus, and some future development and building will be happening in that area as well. And then further south on the campus, we have athletic facilities, our residence halls, School of Business, admissions, financial aid office, etc. We're also building many more athletic facilities and student recreation space on an expansion area to the east of this. So we certainly are growing in the Owings Mills area. Stevenson is categorized as a small private liberal arts university with a distinct career focus. So when we talk about small, our average class size is just about 17, our 14-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and about 2,700 full-time undergraduate students overall. You can see that our campus is a pretty diverse campus in terms of our student body. About 42% of our students identify as a member of a racial or ethnic minority group. I mentioned earlier that we are a very career-oriented university, and all of our majors not only provide opportunities for internships, research, or a capstone project, but that is actually required across the board for all of our majors. So being that we are so career-focused, we don't let you graduate until you have those hands-on experiences. So that really makes a huge difference. Here is a list of our undergraduate schools. Our majors are divided between 6 undergraduate schools, and we also have a number of pre-professional advising areas, as well as both academic and professional minors. Among our most popular majors are nursing, biology, business administration, criminal justice, And we have a large deciding population as well. So if you don't quite know what you want to major in, that is okay. You can start at Stevenson as a deciding student, and you will receive help on campus to eventually make that decision for the second half of your college career. Nursing and biomedical engineering do require separate admission to the major. So on that topic of admission, we'll hop right into the general application process. Stevenson uses the common application, or we have our own application on our website. We honestly have no preference which one you use, whichever one's easier for you, and there is no application fee as long as you apply online. Then you'll have your high school transcript sent by your high school counseling office. And once we receive that, it will be added to your file. We'll also need an essay and a short response as well. Once those 3 items are received, your application will move through our admissions committee. We're on a rolling admission basis, so we don't have early action or early decision, and we try to get back to you as quickly as possible. Stevenson is test blind for this academic year, and we will be keeping that policy for the next academic year as well. So not only does that mean test optional, but even if you submit test scores, we're not looking at them. Also, letters of recommendation are optional to submit. We have a number of scholarships to consider. The merit-based scholarships are automatic consideration upon admission to the university. So you'll find out inside your admission letter if you qualify for these and the amount. They are renewable for 4 years. They range from $10,000 to $20,800 this year. They could change for next year, but this is what we currently offer. Then the remaining 4 on the screen do require separate action on the student's part in order to be considered. The first of those is the Presidential Fellowship. It's an awesome full tuition competitive scholarship opportunity. If you have a 3.7 GPA, I encourage you to throw your hat in the ring for this opportunity. We also have a Leadership Scholars and Service Scholars programs. If either of those topics are a passion for you, you could participate in these programs and receive a financial benefit as well of $2,000 per year if you are selected to participate. If you are interested in theater and visual arts, you may be interested in throwing your hat in the ring for one of those opportunities, either an audition or a portfolio to be ranked by faculty. And we also have an interview-based Founders Scholarship if you have a 3.0. That would be worth $2,000 per year. We are welcoming in-person campus tours at this time, so feel free to sign up on our website for a time that works for you. We are also hosting open houses over the summer. We have a variety of both virtual and in-person events, so be sure to check out our visit webpage. Here are some of the common questions we can address later. And here is my contact information should you need to reach out to me in the future. I look forward to working with you. I'll now turn it over to St. Mary's. Thank you.
All right, I think I am good to go. Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan Cartwright. I am the Associate Director of Admission at St. Mary's College of Maryland, and also an alum, but I will not talk about that because I graduated before any of you were in high school. So historic St. Mary's City is the location that we are located within. It's probably about 60 to 65 miles south of Washington, D.C. in Southern Maryland. So we're not on the Eastern Shore. We're not north of Washington, D.C. We are south within the state. We are a 360-acre waterfront campus that is known for a couple of different things, but we do have 2 beaches on our campus that are popular spots for students to go to, and also a really unique campus feel. We have 5 dormitories that freshmen typically will move into, and then there's also apartments, suites, and townhomes for students who are entering their freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. So our location is really unique, but something that also makes us unique is who we are as an institution. We have been designated as an honors college for 29 years now. That came because elected officials gave us this designation with the expectation that every student is getting an honors level education. So in other words, every class, every academic experience is at an honors level. We are the first college in the country to have this designation as a public school. And we are also very, very committed to making sure that our students are experiencing that education. Our campus community has 1,510 students, so it is very unique. We have a ratio of 9 students to every 1 professor. So your professors are not just teaching you, they're getting to know you. You're having dialogue and discussion with them in the classroom, and they're really able to help you build upon your strengths as a student. And this shows up in a lot of the successes that our students actually do have. Some of the other unique opportunities is that every student is actually guaranteed an internship. Typically, you will have 1 to 2 internships, and in your senior year, you'll be doing a thesis, which is directed research one-on-one with a professor. So that's an incredible opportunity for students to become published if they have the opportunity to do so, or combine different things together. But I will say that our largest programs that we offer at this school would include biology, economics, environmental studies, English, and history. Even though those are our largest programs, a lot of our students will double major in multiple focuses so that they can have their interests align with the work that they're doing. In addition to this, we offer some really incredible extracurricular activities. Underwater archaeology is actually a course that is taught every 2 years. So our students have the opportunity to become scuba certified on our campus and actually go scuba diving in a remote location and find different artifacts and understand how to do underwater archaeology. Right now, we have around 60 clubs and activities that are active, but in a normal year, without social distancing, we typically have around 90 clubs or activities. So there's a very vibrant campus life that exists that students will engage with outside of class. We have unique opportunities like equestrian, if you want to learn how to horseback ride. We have paddleboarding, sailing, and if you're just wandering around campus, you can actually catch some of our students fishing, kayaking, or canoeing when they are not in classes. So some really great opportunities. In terms of sports, we have 19 different Division III opportunities with a new stadium that is actually on the east side of our campus. If you are interested in playing any of these sports, they're great opportunities. We also have a Division I sailing team that has produced over 150 All-Americans and 4 world-class sailors who've participated in the Olympics. So those are some really incredible opportunities. Something that's unique is that with the curriculum that students are taking, with the preparation that they get through the Honors College Promise, they are going on and they're doing incredible things. Something that is unique is that students who go to St. Mary's, they are graduating with some of the lowest amount of debts out of every institution in the state of Maryland. This year, in the middle of the pandemic, 91% of our students who graduated within 6 months of last year's graduating class have found employment or they are in graduate school. So this is something that we're really proud of. And typically around 90 to 94% of our students are receiving some form of scholarship or grant fund. And when you receive that, when you come in as a student, you get that for every single year, given that you maintain a certain GPA. So a lot of our students are getting the support that they need to graduate. They are being mentored by incredible professors, and they're finding jobs and careers, giving their preparation over 4 years as students at St. Mary's. I encourage every student to come visit. If you'd like to reach out to me, my contact information is on this screen, and we hope that you visit and follow us on Instagram.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. My name is Caitlin Henry. I am one of the admissions counselors at UMBC. I am so excited to be here talking to you about UMBC, and hopefully we'll connect again down the line or connect you with your respective admissions counselor. So I'm going to start off by kind of orienting you as to where UMBC is in the first place. We're located in Baltimore County, more specifically in Catonsville, Maryland. So that puts us about 15 minutes away from Baltimore City and about 45 minutes away from DC. Our students definitely take advantage of everything happening in the cities, whether that be internships or just heading in for brunch on the weekend, or even just undergrad jobs. But being in Baltimore County specifically allows us a lot of freedom as a campus. Our campus is 500 acres. As you can see, it's kind of encapsulated in this nice little circle. So it's really green and open and easy to navigate despite the size. So hopefully you'll take a kind of virtual tour or even come visit the campus at some point. If you have questions about that, feel free to let me know, because it is impossible to break everything down, in 6 minutes, but hopefully this gives you a little bit of a feel for what the campus is like. We're a school of about 11,000 undergraduate students and about 3,000 graduate students. So for some, that may seem really intimidating. For others, that may be no biggie. But regardless of kind of which side of that field you're on, one important thing to note is that a lot of our students kind of describe a Goldilocks effect at UMBC, where we're not too big and we're also not too small. A lot of our students note that they've made really great communities for themselves with their friends, their peers, their professors. Even our president will stop you on academic road to ask you, like, what's your name? What's your major? What do you want to do in life? So there's a real community feel on campus. And at the same time, we have all the resources of a larger school. We bring in about $100 million in research funding every year. We are one of the top feeders for the NSA. We've got great partnerships with NASA. So we really take advantage of everything that Maryland has to offer for our students, and our students do the same. We have 61 different majors that you can choose from. They range from computer science to social work to performing arts majors. And a lot of our students will kind of mix and match along the way, even if they came in and they knew exactly what they wanted to do from day one. People have multiple passions, people are multifaceted, and our curriculum is really designed to accommodate that. So you'll see a lot of students kind of take advantage of that liberal arts curriculum that we offer. We also know that your experience outside of the classroom is extremely important. A lot of employers are looking for experience outside of just the classroom, and we totally get that. So we try and equip you with as much experience as you possibly can have in 4 years. About 82% of our students will do either an internship or study abroad or research on campus in their time at UMBC. And I would say more often than not, you're going to see students doing more than one of those things. So they're not always required, but they're so plentiful that you see a lot of students taking advantage of them. If you are still kind of paying attention to that 11,000 student number, you're wondering how you can kind of enrich your student experience, I do recommend taking a look at the Honors College and Scholars programs. The Honors College is probably a concept you're familiar with if you've taken any honors classes, if you have friends who've taken honors classes. It's a pretty similar concept. Our professors have to apply to teach those classes. They're so dedicated to that experience, and it just gives you kind of smaller class sizes and things like that. If you want something a little bit more streamlined, where you have a cohort of really like-minded students, we have 7 scholars programs on campus that are really kind of designed to suit that. If you're looking at the Center for Women in Technology, CWIT is one of our programs. We have the Meyerhoff program, which is a program for minorities in STEM. There's something pretty much for everyone where you can kind of create a small cohort for yourself, get a lot of mentorship, and also get a scholarship to boot. So it's kind of a really awesome package deal. Our students work hard for sure. They're here for the academics, but they also play hard. We really want students to take advantage of that time for enrichment in college, as cliche as it seems, but it is a great time to grow as a person too. So we have over 270 clubs on campus. They're all student driven. We have an amazing student events board that puts on events for students, like bringing DeBaby to campus, bringing other artists and comedians and outdoor movies. There's always something to do. You just have to create the time in your schedule and show up. That's really it. And then of course we have Baltimore and DC. right next door. There's so much to do there. It's impossible to even go through it all, but you'll have time to explore it for yourself. And then lastly, for the application, we're on the Common App, makes it really easy and streamlines the process. The other things we would need would be your high school transcript, if you want to submit them, test scores as well, and then just kind of keep in mind what our deadlines are. So hopefully we'll connect with you soon, but I will go ahead and hand it over to Salisbury.
Hi, everybody. My name is Charles Overholt. I am the Assistant Director of Freshman Admissions at Salisbury University. Thank you for allowing me to present to you guys for a little while. Let me bring up my screen. All right, so welcome to your virtual tour of Salisbury. Salisbury is located on the eastern shore of Maryland. Here's a map of everyone's favorite coast of the United States, the East Coast. State of Maryland highlighted there in gold, and then Salisbury's over here on the eastern shore. So if you've been to Ocean City, Maryland, to go to the beach, you've been through Salisbury. The city itself, as the city of Salisbury, has about 33,000 residents, and we have almost 9,000 students at the university. So we are very much a college town. I know a lot of you guys are probably joining us from the other side of the bay. Really different pace of life over here on the eastern shore. So slower, lower population density, not a lot of traffic jams, more relaxing, especially in the summer months with Ocean City so close by. That's like Maryland's beach. But Salisbury is still relatively close to all of you guys. So we're about 2.5 hours from the major cities in Maryland, Baltimore, DC. We're equidistant to a lot of major population centers. So the Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Hampton Roads area, that's also about 2.5 hours south of us. So we're close to them as well. This is a breakdown of our campus by the numbers. Like I said, we have just under 9,000 total students at SU. We are predominantly an undergraduate institution. You can see we do have some graduate students here as well. 15-to-1 student faculty ratio. We're pretty proud of that. And our average class size is 23. We don't have any classes at SU like you've probably seen in movies about college, where there's like 1,000 people inside like a giant wooden stadium and like one professor at the bottom talking to everybody. Our classes are going to feel more like your high school classes feel. So a teacher at the front of the room. You guys remember high school? That place you used to go 5 days a week. Hopefully those memories aren't too faded. But we can also see we have a good number of states and countries represented on our campus. Academically speaking, we have 46 different majors, 75 minors. This number is actually out of date. We just added a couple new minors, including like an American Sign Language program. So I need to update this slide. But we do have a handful of graduate and PhD programs as well. So I want to run through those real quick so you can see what we offer, because we do have some pretty unique ones. The campus itself is broken into different schools. So the first building, the first school is Fulton, and that's home to all of our liberal arts and our humanities. This picture here is a glass blowing demonstration. We're the only school in Maryland right now who has a glass blowing as an undergraduate major and as a minor. So that's a pretty cool program. I am an SU alum myself. I was a history major here. If you're looking for some really specific on this slide or the following slides, chances are it's a track underneath the individual major itself. So a track is like a focused area of study to go into greater depth, under the broader theme of the major. The next school we have is the Henson School. That's where all of our STEM programs are located. Biology and chemistry are the two largest majors in this school. They have a really robust pre-med program. Geography is a really interesting major, and this is one of the things I always like to talk about, differences between high school and college. If you guys took a geography class in high school, it was probably pretty boring. It was probably like maps and rivers and topography and like national borders and stuff. Geography at SU is like applied science. So it's like using drones to measure like traffic patterns to determine where's the best place to build like a new restaurant on the highway to service like the maximum number of cars per hour. So way more engaged, like Google Earth, GPS, satellite terrain mapping, things like that. That's part of a geography major. The Perdue School, definitely, that's one of our flagship programs at SU. All of our business majors are concentrated here. All of these majors require internships. You have to complete an internship, effectively work a job before you're allowed to graduate. There's a big focus on entrepreneurship here. We've had Shark Tank come to campus 2 different times to do auditions for that show. They were actually supposed to come back a 3rd time in April 2020, but when COVID hit, all the fun got canceled, so they had to reschedule. We're looking forward to having them back soon. The Seidel School is home to all of our education programs. SU was actually founded in 1925 as a two-year teachers college, so this is something that's near and dear to our hearts still today. Our newest major here is outdoor education leadership. That was a really popular minor in the school that we expanded to a full major. So there's all sorts of like outdoor leadership classes you can be certified in, certified as a kayak instructor, a certified scuba diver, like wilderness search and rescue, wilderness paramedic classes. So it's a really interesting major if you're looking to a career in the National Park Service or the Department of Natural Resources. The last academic unit I'm going to talk about is the College of Health and Human Services, and this is home to all of our medical programs or majors associated with just helping people or improving quality of life. So exercise science, one of the most popular majors at the school, that has two different tracks in it. One track is called the Allied Health track, and that's for students who want to go on to become a physical therapist one day, go to PA school or OT school. Nursing is also very popular at SU. It's one of our largest majors in terms of applications. It is a gated program. Nursing, respiratory therapy, and medical laboratory science all require that you do well in high school, be admitted to Salisbury, and then do well at SU for your first 2 years to then be admitted into those gated programs. And last one, I'll talk about social work. This is an accelerated program. We also have a master's degree in social work. So if you want to be a social worker as a career path, when you come in, you can complete both of those degrees in 5 years. Last slide here, our application will go live on August 1st this year. We do have a few different application types. Early decisions, a binding contract. So that's my recommendation to someone if they tell me, hey, Charles, SU is my #1 choice. Like, I'm not even applying anywhere else, and I'm a little concerned I might not get in. So you're committing to us. You sign a contract to that end. And so we're giving you, the best consideration. We're going to work with you very closely to make sure we can do everything you can to be admitted. You can see the other types on here and their notification deadlines. And we are a member of the Common Application, so you can submit your application there. And last but not least, please come visit us. We are open all summer doing tours twice a day, 5 days a week. Thank you.
All right, everyone, and then that leaves me. I'll get started by sharing my slides. Okay, here we go. All right, so hi everyone, my name is Lambert. I am an admissions representative here representing the University of Maryland, College Park. Just a little bit about the campus in itself. The University of Maryland is the state's flagship institution. We are the largest institution from the state of Maryland. So if you're familiar with the area, I'm sure you've heard of the University of Maryland. You've seen the flags and the logos and everything like that everywhere. Mentioning that we are the largest institution, we have a little over 30,000 undergraduate students. But essentially what that means is that you're going to meet a bunch of students and a bunch of people from all walks of life. We have students representing each county in the state of Maryland, each state in the United States, and over 120 different countries from around the world. So you're going to be in a global environment. We have 43.6% student of color population. There are over 800 clubs and organizations for you to get involved in. We're recently ranked the number 19th best university by among public universities by the USA News and World Reports. And there's just a lot to do, lots to see, 19 Division I sports teams to take advantage of, and a really robust campus environment. So anything you're looking for, the University of Maryland, the typical college environment that you're looking for from the movies and that you imagine, that's essentially the University of Maryland, and it's right in your backyard. In terms of our campus location itself, we are located in College Park, Maryland. Like I said, we're actually the only research university within the Washington Beltway area. So as I mentioned, if you're familiar with the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, if you're interested in tech, journalism, research, any of those areas, this is the prime place to be. Our campus is also within 45 minutes from 3 major airports, so we're able to connect our students easily to all the major major cities, all the major hubs where opportunities are plentiful, so students can leave for internship opportunities as well as study abroad opportunities, which I'll get a chance to touch on a little bit. And like all the other schools on the panel, our proximity to DC is something that we definitely try to take advantage of, whether it's for job opportunities or just internships. Because of how close we are to DC, literally a 20-minute ride on the metro, and you'll be right down in DC. students are actually able to intern throughout the academic year. So they may have a hybrid schedule where they'll go to class in the morning and then go to an internship in the afternoon, or they may have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule for class and then go to an internship on the other days. Because we are a large school, you are going to have a lot of really large lecture halls. However, we still have an 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio. And the reason why we maintain that is because any class that has more than 40 students is required to have a discussion session that's smaller, and that can exceed more than 18 students in there. So you'll still get that small classroom feel despite having a large classroom environment. We have over 90 majors and 80 minors on our campus. So if you're looking to explore and you want a lot of options, the University of Maryland is the school for you. We do not have a specific popular major, but we do have 13 limited enrollment programs that are highly sought after. They're the programs that students are recognized at the University of Maryland for, and these programs have an additional component to the admissions process. And so we are major blind when you initially apply, but if you do select a limited enrollment program when you do apply, we'll review for admission to the school first, and then we'll review for your admission to that major. We can talk a little bit more about that if you have any specific questions about LEPs. Additionally, you're going to have a variety of different special experiences, from research, internships, education abroad. As I mentioned, we have over 400 placements in 123 different countries around the world. So if you want to go short-term, long-term, the University of Maryland would be a really great place to get you started for that. As a student, there's lots to enjoy on our 1,300-acre campus. It's beautiful, it's vibrant. Student dining, housing on is available. There are over 800 clubs and organizations on campus, as I mentioned, for you to take advantage of. So it's a beautiful campus. There's lots to see. And although we're not allowing in-person visits at this specific moment, we do have a lot of daily visit options where you can either join a virtual tour or do a self-guided tour. Maybe you and your family want to drive down for the weekend. You're more than welcome to do one of those. So quickly, I'm going to jump into the application process, and it's relatively easy. We're a dual application institution. So essentially what that means is that we're on a coalition and a common app. So whichever one you want to apply with, you can apply, and we're exclusively online. So we do not have a paper application or anything like that. Speaking of the application, this is the checklist of the application form and fee. We do offer fee waivers, so definitely make sure you take advantage of that. 2 letters of recommendation, your transcript, standardized test scores. We are test optional for the next 2 years. And so if you haven't taken your test, you can still apply to the University of Maryland. Test optional. Now, if you've taken it, you're not happy with your score, you can still apply, and we'll take that into consideration as well. We do offer financial aid, need-based and merit-based, and all students who apply by our November 1 early action deadline are automatically reviewed for all of our merit-based scholarships. So the information is pretty much the same. I know we're running low on time, but if you have any additional questions about the University of Maryland, you're more than welcome to reach out to me after this.
Thank you to all of our amazing presenters. With this said, we're now going to transition to the Q&A portion of our session. I would love for all of our presenters to return. Feel free to turn on your cameras, and I'm going to pose a question to the group. Our presenters will respond to the question in the order in which they presented. So the first question is, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
So hi again, I'm Ashley with Washington College. My favorite event on campus is our birthday ball, which happens every year in February to celebrate George Washington's birthday. So it's a huge event. It's kind of like prom times 1,000. Our student events board hosts it, and every year it's themed. So past themes have been Old Hollywood, Harry Potter, things like that. And it's an event for students, alumni, and faculty. So everyone gets really dressed up. There's a DJ, lots of Maryland food, and it's a really good time.
I can hop in here.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was
second. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. My favorite event at Stevenson, which is held on an annual basis as a tradition now, is called Mustangs Make a Difference Day. And that is where we hold an event out on our quad. The sidewalk is lined with tables, and each table is a service event that you can take part in. It could be something as small as writing positive notes on Post-it notes that you can place around campus, or something like making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for homeless shelters, or packing bags full of toys for children. So it's something that you can do simply on your walk to class. And it really makes a difference for others.
think I almost knocked my laptop over. I would say that my favorite campus tradition would be midnight breakfast. So before finals week happens, all the students come together and they have this huge breakfast at midnight the day before finals happen. And everyone has, stuff they're working on at the last minute. Some of the things that you will not forget is karaoke performances. One has still stuck in my head for years now. It was absolutely horrible. But it's a fun time to kind of, get together with your friends and just encourage each other before you go into those tests the next day.
So for UMBC, I think my favorite event would be homecoming. And part of it is the irony because we don't actually have a football team. But the other part is that there's always a 2-story bonfire. There's like a permanent burn mark on Erickson Field because it happens every year and the fire is so huge. But we bring food trucks on campus and people play music and kind of just hang out and meet new people. And it's a lot of fun.
As far as events at Salisbury go, when I was there as a student there, my favorite event was War on the Shore. So that was a big lacrosse match that we would have with another school here with Washington College. That was always a lot of fun. That's been basically rescheduled so it doesn't happen. It happens over spring break now. So the other event, the other big one is Seagull Century, which is a big 100-mile bike ride that basically starts on our campus and goes all the way to Assateague Beach. It ends on the beach. There's a couple other different bike routes that you can go. It is like a public event. We have people who come here from all over the country and all over the world to ride in it, but student clubs can volunteer and help out, and they can get like basically like an honorarium. They can get money for their club events by helping out. So there's always a lot of student engagement with that.
I guess it's finally my turn. It's crazy because I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, oh, you guys all sound so cool. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit. So I'm an alum of the University of Maryland. So I'll say as a student, my favorite tradition would be finals time when we send out sacrifices to Testudo. If you don't know what I'm talking about, or you're like, what are you talking about? What kind of crazy thing is going on? Go on Google and look it up, Testudo sacrifices. You'll see all the crazy things that students offer to Testudo with hope of maintaining our academic merit when we're in Maryland. As an alum, I will say my favorite event is Maryland Day. It's an opportunity for prospective families to come out and see everything that the campus has to offer, from our Holy Cow to our Maryland Dairy, to seeing a snap look at our spring football team for the upcoming fall. There's lots to see, lots to try on. So those two will be my personal favorite.
Thank you all for responding. So we are approaching the end of our session for today. I want to thank all of our panelists for joining us, but also thank you to all of our attendees. Before we close, I have a few closing announcements. So as you exit from this Zoom session, a survey will appear. It's approximately 4 questions or so, but we would greatly appreciate it if you completed the survey. It's extremely helpful as we aim to improve our virtual college fair offerings. And finally, I want to remind you all that you will have access to the recording within about a week or so by visiting strivescan.com/PCACAC. Again, thank you all for joining us, and I hope everyone has a great afternoon.